Hi, I'm Alan Bresnick, Cable Video Practice Leader for Light Reading. We're here in New Orleans at SCTE Cable Tech Expo. We're talking to Viavi Solutions, and we're talking to Dave Herring, who's Product Line Manager for Video Solutions at Viavi. So Dave, how has video delivery changed over the last couple of years?
Well, it's really changed a lot, and it's been driven by what you and I really most want. We want to watch video whenever we want on any device that we want. It could be the big screen, it could be a tablet, it could be our smartphone. So the big change this really makes is a lot more unicast videos in the network, so video that's just destined for me, and that creates just an enormous amount of traffic in the network. Makes it so that I no longer have a network which I can simply engineer just for the amount of broadcast traffic that I want to carry.
So with the change from multicast to unicast, how has that affected being able to deliver video assurance?
It's made it much more complex. So if I'm monitoring an IPTV system, I know I can put probes here and here and here.
Right.
But as I start to monitor these new services destined for multi-screens, they're serviced by CDNs. And CDNs naturally tend to load balance themselves, so the video doesn't flow through a predictable path in the network.
Right.
So I have this enormous complication that I never used to have in my core and metro networks, plus all the problems I've always experienced in the access networks. And as all the service providers today are much more interested in reducing churn, and to do that, they need to understand what the true end-user quality of experience is. So trying to relate poor end-user quality of experience to exactly where the problem is just ballooned into an enormous problem.
Yeah, it sounds like a huge headache. So how do you measure the quality of experience as opposed to measuring the quality of service?
That's a great question, and really the answer is, how do you measure it economically? Because you just can't throw iron at it anymore. You can't go through and take an instrument to everything. You can't go through and put iron probes in your network to monitor everything.
Right.
So what we've done at Viavi is we've really migrated to software-based solutions. So with a software-based solution, I can scale to very dense applications in my head ends. Because now that I have to groom video for all the different screen sizes, there's so much more content to deal with. So I need to be able to run very, very densely, taking advantage of the exponential growth in computer processing power that naturally happens. But I also need to be able to scale very cost effectively into the network and into the home or into the end devices, so that I can really understand what the true end user quality of experience is and segment the problems to really identify. Is it a congested CDN? Is it a problem where I've run too much traffic through my router? Do I have my traffic prioritized wrong? These sorts of problems just require a lot more points of presence in the network, and software is definitely the answer to do that.
So no more probes in the network anymore?
Not nearly as many probes in the network anymore. There are times where actually probes would still be required. So for example, in the cable industry, here, we have modulators at the edge of the network. So in that case, I actually would use a probe to go through and look at that specific test point.
Right.
But as I look at just traffic flowing through Ethernet over the network, that's where I go to all software-based probes.
Right. So do you feel now that you can basically be almost looking over the customer's shoulder to see what kind of viewing experience they're experiencing?
Exactly. You can understand their viewing experience, you can understand their viewing habits as well, just so that you can go through and make intelligent decisions about how to go through and prioritize your existing and new services to get the most bang for your buck.
Right, and this gives you a lot more data on user behavior that you can use too, I guess.
Exactly, and that turns into monetization very quickly to, once again, make the most of new services, launch them quicker, and targeted very specifically to the demographics you need to go after.
Well, Dave, thanks a lot. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Alan. Appreciate it.